There's no one like fans. That's why Sky Bet are giving you free bets and boosts all season long. Check out this class offer below. Sky Bet for the fans, 18 plus, T's and C's apply. BeGambleAware.org. What are you lot trying to do, man? Sending back Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, I know. It's going to happen, isn't it? I know. It is going to happen. We discussed this and we sort of said it in jest. He has been so bad. It's unbelievable. And do you know what I think is the story of this? How some people have managed to pretend that he hasn't been. You know, this, like, he's actually quite good. We're so easily
some
pleased.
Chelsea fans at the start.
Well, I mean, he did well at the start.
He did. Remember when I said to you on this show, and you go, "Oh, he's doing well for us," and I went,
we could only,
"Trust me, this is deceptive."
You were proved to be correct. But at the time, I was correct. He did well for, like, we won a game of football that he had a direct responsibility for us winning. When we beat Tottenham, which was a massive result, you know, we're 2-0 down away from home against our biggest rivals, he gets us back in the game. There were moments.
What is he doing differently now than he was then?
I honestly don't know what's happened. I don't know if he's been figured out. I don't know if the tactics don't work for him. I don't know if he's just not bothered. You know, he's had one shot on target since Boxing Day. Like, that's not a joke. Since Boxing Day, bearing in mind we're mid-March,
But he's
had one shot on target.
Something's obviously gone massively wrong because, like you said, at the beginning of the season, he was flying, he was getting assists, he was in and around your attack, making things happen. Is this? I'm not looking at Jadon Sancho. I'm looking at Maresca.
No. There's too many managers, mate.
Have a look at the man in the mirror.
I'm looking at him. I have to look at him.
No.
I have to.
No, there's too many managers.
It's his job to get the best out of that player.
He's
It's Jadon Sancho's responsibility.
Yeah, but you can't,
Also, you know
because he
when
was
you
doing
said
it at the beginning of
flying,
the season.
you went a bit
He
too
wasn't
crazy.
flying.
You said flying. He came on for 20 minutes against Bournemouth and totally changed the game.
Got the winner.
20 minutes though. Totally changed the game, but he came on for 20 minutes. He scored a massive goal for us at Tottenham, like, no doubt. Massive goal to get us back in the game. But that's it. Like, he came on for 20 minutes. He was brought on 70 minutes or 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And he changed the game. So he kind of did his job. So obviously I was happy with that. But ultimately, I just wonder how good he is.
He did that at United. He had that game against Liverpool where you
scored
go,
a goal,
Yeah.
He's the guy, or he scored at Stamford Bridge for us as well in a game with a very good goal. And he has those moments where you think, oh,
No.
there he is.
And it's definitely not. It's definitely not. I don't like Maresca. I think Maresca should be sacked.
It could be an issue with his lifestyle off the pitch, gaming and all this kind of stuff. I'm not about
He loves
partying,
all that crap.
I'm on about like gaming late and things like that. We've heard about that. But I think it's this. He's not suited to the Premier League.
No, it's not.
Too fast for him.
No, you're
He's
being
got no
too
burners.
Adam, I think you're being too generous. At what point does it become Jadon Sancho's responsibility? Like, we've had discipline issues at Dortmund, discipline issues at Man City, discipline issues at Manchester United, discipline issues at Chelsea. Like, when is it his responsibility? When is it not about the league? You're suggesting the league isn't right. You're suggesting the manager isn't right. I'm suggesting Jadon Sancho isn't right. And I think I'm
both things
correct.
can be true.
Yeah, but I think both things could be true.
I just think stylistically as a player, he's not suited to the Premier League. But also he could be doing more.
I think good footballers would flourish in any league if their aptitude is correct.
You know, when you watch the clips of him doing well in Germany, yeah, it's like the defence is on the halfay line and he's running into empty.
Like Timo Werner, isn't it?
You know
Those goals those clips of Timo Werner scoring goals.
Yeah,
like, why is there nobody else in the whole picture?
But obviously, at the same time, Jadon Sancho needs to take accountability. He hasn't been great in the Premier League since he's come to this country. He hasn't been that great, but he's shown spells of being a good player. Now, is it easy to point at him and saying he's a scapegoat because he wasn't that good at Manchester United? Is Chelsea fans or is the manager doing the same thing now?
He's not a scapegoat.
No, because he to some degree,
Mate, you know Eric Ten Hag.
Ten Hag, he was a scapegoat.
Ten Hag broke his neck.
You can't tell me he wasn't a scapegoat.
Ten Hag broke his neck for him.
When he was having a real bad time of it, and Ten Hag went, you know what? Go away for a couple of months. Have some time off. And then he came back. I remember he got brought on the pitch as a substitute at Old Trafford. Ten Hag was hugging him. He was posting the pictures of him and Ten Hag as if they were best mates. United's fans were all giving him a rousing reception to return. Like, he gave him so many allowances so much time off. And
do you know what he did to Ten Hag as well, off the back of what you've just described there? You know, when he went to social media and I just hate social media when football. I find it so unedifying when footballers go to social media anyway. But you know, when he pinned to the top of his profile, he didn't only say it, he then made it the pinned bit at the top. Basically declaring war on Manchester United, Manchester United's manager, Eric Ten Hag, and Manchester United Football Club. And whatever you think of Ten Hag, the office of Manchester United needs to be respected. Yeah. The office of Manchester United manager is probably the most sought after job in world football. Is that too much?
No,
Top 3 jobs in world football, top
very,
5
very
jobs
big
in world football, whatever you think it is. Whoever's in that job needs respect, right? It doesn't matter whether you believe they are right for that job, whether you believe they deserve that job. If you are the Manchester United manager on some level, you have to be spoken to in a deferential tone. And Jadon Sancho declared war on him and pinned it to the top of his profile.
After we spent 3 months giving him time off.
We should have never ever signed a player like that. It was such a red flag.
You've got an obligation to buy.
We have got an obligation.
You're going to have to pay us to keep him.
Yeah, what we can do is we can agree a fee, which for Manchester United, this is only really a win.
You know.
Pardon?
It's not though, because then we're stuck with his wages.
No, because what we can do to you is we can make it so palatable that we go to you. The obligation to buy is
Christian
40 million.
Cuckoo and 20 million, so we don't buy Sancho.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what will happen. What will happen, I don't think it will be 20, that's too much. I think what it will be is, it will be like a real sweetener. It will be like £8 million, £10 million to basically force Jadon Sancho to be someone else's problem.
It's United. I think United would rather, obviously, the 25 million, and we don't have to think about his wages anymore.
I think that
that's what United.
I think Manchester United could easily say no. That's the end of my sentence. Manchester United say no. Chelsea go, hi, Sir Jim. We would like to not take Jadon Sancho, and we'll do anything to make that palatable to you.
So how do we make that off your season ticket?
and so Jim Ratcliffe will go no, because they can see that it's a problem.
Is there a world there Manchester United could take?
No.
Where
don't go. I know where you're going with this question. Oh, he's going to be a Man United player next season.
No. I was going to say, just quickly, is there a world that Man United could take some form of blame of spending so much money on Jadon Sancho?
Oh yeah, we can take our own blame and
put in
not doing our research and giving him such a big wage and spending so much money.
Just to explore that though, is there a world where Ten Hag's Manchester United, it didn't work? Would Ruben Amorim perhaps wipe the slate?
There's a reason why Marcus Rashford isn't here anymore.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think then? What's next?
Rashford's a better player.
Where's Marcus Rashford playing football next season, if anywhere?
Aston Villa.
I think Villa take the obligation if they're in Europa League at a minimum.
Yeah. I want to make Champions League somehow.
Where's Jadon Sancho playing football next season?
I think he goes back to Manchester United.
No.
I think he goes abroad.
I don't believe that the ego of Jadon Sancho would allow Fulham move.
No.
Dortmund.
Nah, it doesn't go back to Dortmund. You can't keep going back to Dortmund. He needs to go. He'll probably go to. You know what? He'll probably go to Italy.
What club in Italy would pay his wages?
If Leao leaves AC Milan, they could have some money. But then why would they be stupid enough to spend that on Sancho?
His stock has never been lower.
When you're Miami.
Now his stock is very. No, we are taking a
not that low.
Into Miami.
Not that low.
That's a retirement.
No, into Miami.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's a retirement.
Yeah, into
Arsenal.
We've already got a problem on the left wing. We've already got one of their players.
This is a really interesting question. Where does Jadon Sancho play next season? Like, I genuinely don't know the answer.
I think he honestly goes abroad. I think Italy will be a good.
But I don't think that the clubs that you've said will buy him.
You have to work hard there as well.
And the clubs that.
But it's a slower league though.
Look, his wages are high. So whatever club you say are going to have to be prepared to pay big wages. Secondly, the clubs are going to have to want a player like him.
Jack suggested Nottingham Forest and Newcastle.
No way.
Nottingham Forest and Newcastle haven't got to where they are by...
Newcastle United, absolutely not. Eddie Howe has got that thing written on the wall. Our identity is intensity.
He's not allowed... He doesn't go on pre-season with the squad.
But someone like Amorim might say, you know what, I can probably get the best out of this player. But you saying no...
Because he would have said that about Rashford, but there were things that happened with Rashford.
If you're going to take
Rashford's deeper than
Sancho.
Rashford's better than Sancho.
Miles, if you're going to take a punt on a player, you know, if you've got a player that's been a little bit recalcitrant and you're going to then look to bring that player back into the fold, if you're going to do that, you're going to do it to Marcus Rashford.
Okay.
If it's Rashford or Sancho, it's Rashford, isn't it?
I think Rashford mentally already checked out of Manchester United and he's been there for long. It's different with Rashford.
Wrong for Rashford off the pitch. He was maybe not applying himself in training and all those things. Yeah, but there's a reason Ruben Amorim went, I can't be dealing with this.
Because he's a big personality.
I need to change the culture of the club. We need to change the culture of the club. So what we're going to do is bring the guy back that Chelsea have gone, you know what? This guy's not worth the 25 million we're obligated to pay for him. So we're going to give United 10 million. I think I've got the answer. We're going to bring the guy back that pinned his bullshit statement to the top of his Twitter. And
there has to be a principle as well. You can't behave like that.
I bet he does a pre-season with Manchester United.
You can't disrespect Manchester United.
He doesn't go to America. which is like a big point. He'll get left in England with the 23s.
You wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that because
I promise you we
resale
do.
value for one. So you wouldn't do that.
We affected Rashford's resale value by going, you're not in the squad, mate.
Yeah, but Rashford does this. He's a superstar.
The Tottenham signed Jadon Sancho.
No.
Okay, well, look, think about the entire Premier League table. You two have just dismissed everybody.
I don't think
Somebody
he goes to the
has
Premier
sign.
League, Rory. He doesn't go Premier League.
But the clubs that you've suggested, okay, look, there's an equation that you need to factor in here, right? Firstly is his wages. Secondly is his ego. So the size of club that you're saying won't pay, like the club.
Who's his agent?
He must have to take.
I don't think he's got a big enough agent to get him a move.
He would obviously get into the Sampdoria team,
Yeah.
but they're not going to have the wages.
Do you think he takes a pay cut then?
His head thinks he can go
thought so.
Barcelona. Maybe he could go PSG.
No way. No way.
No way.
I'm not getting PSG.
No
No.
But
way.
they've got a hard-working
way,
young
mate.
team now.
Nah,
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And their
no,
team's-
no, so I'm
Oh, right, that's what
arguing
you're
against
saying.
myself.
Right.
Nah, yeah, he doesn't get into PSG.
Like I'm going through
Luis
this
Enrique
team.
doesn't
No
take
one
that
takes
punt.
him. Real
No
Madrid
way.
don't take him.
No, mate.
Oh,
Real Betis don't take him.
No, that's the kind of club, but then they won't pay the wages. See, they're the kind of that Real Betis do take him.
The reason I'm
but
saying these clubs is who could pay his wages and who would he want to go to. We can all say
maybe you're right. Maybe it is Saudi or America.
Oh man, you guys are extreme. He's not going to go to Saudi.
Can I
He's
just
only
ask
like
a quick
24.
question regarding Sancho?
Gotta go Saudi.
How good is
Van
he?
der Ram went.
And genuinely, we're talking about Jadon Sancho like he's a
I
really
think
good footballer.
he's wasted the talent he has.
How much?
But I
talent
also
does he
think
have?
there's
I don't think he.
a ceiling to what he can do in England because he's not very quick. And he's
Is he as good as Marcus Rashford?
No.
No.
But I think in terms of, the technical details of his play, dribbling on the ball, I think he's got some attributes that are better than Marcus's. But Marcus Rashford's got that pure pace
I think
and the willingness to actually...
He's not as good. Is he a better footballer in your opinion than Callum Hudson-Odoi?
Yes.
No.
I think Callum Hudson-Odoi is more effective. I think he's a better footballer than Callum, though. If that
What, you
makes-
think
I
Jadon
he's-
Sancho?
Yeah, if he's
So
more
if Arsenal had to sign Sancho or
obviously, like I said, Hudson-Odoi is more effective, but I think Jadon Sancho is a more talented footballer than him.
Just about
What's-
talent here.
Yeah,
Not
just
the
talent.
work ethic
Yeah,
or
not the
anything
work
like
ethic.
that.
Yeah, Hudson's going to give you all that. But as it comes just a natural, better footballer, I think Sancho is one of the best out of his pool, out of his era.